much. We're back here. It is now the piss around live between Heroic and Optic Gaming on this second map of Cobble. Launders and Van Silly to cover you guys the action. Heroic on the CT side versus Optic on T, who have been able to plant this bomb at the A bomb site. It is Dabs and Rush, the last two remaining. Snappy, the only one falling for Heroic. Both of them playing close next to each other here for Optic at the CT spawn by the APC. Dabs trying to line up the second one, but to no avail. Valde comes in, gets the kill, and comes in for the defuse as Freeze. And Heroic gets another pistol round. That's 3 out of 3 now in this series.
Yeah, but 1 out of 3 that we've seen.
I'm sorry?
1 out of 3 that we've seen.
Yeah.
So we can't prove that. Always knows that the scoreboard is telling us that Heroic won this pistol round. Very good stuff.
So we actually get the replay to see what happened for this pistol round. So we did have control of the upper B, trying to go for that drop. So they did go for that drop to A take. Meanwhile, they only had one guy playing towards the A bomb side. That's Freeze. Look at him fall all the way back towards long A to try to save some time and be a pivotal player after when they're going to play the retake for Heroic. And that's how it paid off there with them winning that one, getting the defuse, 1-0. Snappy trying to go for the shoulder peek at long, being hunted down as well, and has really nothing but his knife to fall back with. And now, actually did it with a flash if he wanted to. But Optic after that decided to fall back at mid and just keep things calm.
Yep. We had to have a single smoke on Mixwell. Not a flash to complement it, but still a couple of options with time. Running relatively low. Valde takes a very safe peek off of that flash just to make sure everything's cool over at long B. But everyone from the terrorist side is very spread out. I don't think Nafly's going to be meeting someone on a push anytime soon. Snappy, however, might have a friend in Dabs.
Yeah, at this point, it's pretty basic to go for Heroic. I mean, you have maybe a little bit of a weaker defense for Heroic usually because you usually have 2 guys watching towards that drop. But for this round here, they opted for a 2-1-2 as they spawned a bit of information and action towards the A side. They forced the rotation out, but the rest of the Optic Gamer are pushing out towards the B side, but it get quickly denied. Really only Nafly and Dabs in the last 2 remaining right now. Nafly is spotted towards the broken wall. His teammate has fallen on the other side of the map at long A, and that was Dabs. Nafly trying to connect with the second one onto Madi, but to no avail. Madi again, a 2K for his round, has been a key player for Heroic in the first map, and he continues on in the second one.
Yeah, so then they had the rifles to make sure they won the round, but all of those kills were actually SMG kills, so they made the most money possible out of each of those frags. That means that they're going to do the best for their economy. They can also... Oh, it looks like they're going to hang on to 2 UMPs, and I'm curious to see how they're going to place them. Oh, they have a close angle at long A that you can use a UMP, excuse me. You can also play under broken wall, and you can play in drop. Lots of really annoying angles that you can put guns that aren't very expensive to do a lot of work on the side on this map.
Couple of nades being lobbed here at the beginning of the round, but no contact as of yet for either teams. We are moving right now with Optic Gaming towards that staircase as Stanislaw is spotted, but he wins that fight against Snappy. Frizz is still waiting at the bottom of the staircase though, and it's traded 1-for-1 once again, so it's a 3. Actually, it's a 1-man advantage, sorry, as Dabs got the advantage. So it's a 4-on-3. They have spotted the bomb as well, trying to execute towards the A bomb site, so Heroic are rotating over towards A. But with 1:04 left on the clock, this still gives plenty of time of Optic Gaming to just reset things.
Oh, I think they're just holding for a rotate, and they're just going to go into A slowly after a certain amount of time, and hopefully make Heroic think that it's instead going to be a B take. So I like this, cutting noise completely, moving up slowly, and they're now just re-execing. As Blade is halfway rotated out. Madi in a really tough spot, trying to hit these one-taps, not going to happen. Blade with the UMP also has his work cut up for him. Mixwell shows him what's up with that AK.
Yeah, it was in a prime spot there for Madi. I mean, not many people check towards the cannon unless you move up towards that mid-side ramp.
So your helmet on CT side blends into the top of the cannon. And so
yeah,
you usually get like a free couple of shots off, but needs to get that first go right away.
That's the thing, it has to connect, and he didn't, unfortunately. So at this point, the bomb is going to go off. Optic Gaming will put the first point on the scoreboard for this second map of Cobble. It is going to be 2-1 with Valde at this point saving his rifle, and Optic Gaming not really going for the hunt because at this point it was an expensive gun round. They did go for the 3rd round buy after the bomb plan at the first one.
Yeah, they had a great round so far. They only ended up losing maybe just Stanislaw, and apart from that, got all their entries clean, no problems. Not even sure if they used all their nades. And that's it, yeah. Wave tries to get a frag, doesn't happen, and that's it. So yeah, that's so much money. 4 AKs, no reason to save. Those would have been, if you look at the money right now, those would have been full buys that they would have had to give up that they can now keep. And Heroic realized that, are going to throw an off in the hands of Freeze. And so, like, even if you have a pistol or a UMP or something like this helps counterbalance the lack of strong weapons on maybe one part of the map, and you can try to get an opening on another. But he's doing this without armor. Yeah. It's a risk to take, but maybe it's necessary. And there it is. There Freeze gets the kill.
On Optic side, they did know that Valde was saving his M4, but they didn't know that Heroic went for a full buy here. For this gamble, Freeze going for the blast cannon op, getting that first kill with the control on mid side.
Now they have to wonder if the rest of the players on Heroic are pistoled up, like how much they could afford to buy.
Yeah.
I think they'd be kind of shocked to find out that there are 3 rifles, lots of nades. So their main priority right now is to get an opening frag, but their second most priority is to avoid Freeze, and that is going to be what basically all the criteria for picking the right site. If they pick the site that Freeze is not at, they made a good decision.
And they made a good decision to utilize all these nades to start really running down that clock running down that clock rather. And Optic Gaming will try to recuperate here. You still have Daps making some noise here towards that drop zone, so they are going to hear that for Heroic side. And Frizz with the AWP is still holding back now. And it's with these numbers game, you can start looking back at that focus on a default on a 2-1-2. You don't really have to try to stack towards the B side anymore. So Heroic are looking very good here on the CT side, but here comes the execution. They finally spotted now towards the A-bomb side. He was waiting towards the connector. He falls back. Snappy still at the broken wall on the A side this time, but Rush opens it up. Napfly then onto Freeze, who was looking for better cover on the top of the balcony or a better angle to get a shot, but denied. Muddy pushing through, picking up the AWP right after. What? Trying to get the off shot on to Mixwell, but it's a drop kill through the wall. At least the balcony maybe, but that's a nice shot. He's going to get mad. Volding Glaive, the dynamic duo trying to work together on this retake.
You might not expect 2 on a big flank here.
Yeah, and he gave his position away here by moving up towards that ramp, shooting towards the long A. Valde's going to move out for the surprise attack, but meanwhile his teammate has fallen down, and Rush gets the kill.
Yeah, I think maybe if you delay a little bit longer, let Valde get that kill first, and then get closer up onto the site. Yeah. Guarantee a trade. It might have been a little bit better in that 2v2, but they had a pretty strong effort. Mixwell getting the kill onto Heaven, like falling off of the broken wall is ridiculous, and probably a huge reason why they were able to win that round.
So that is 2 rounds coming through for Optic.
Good recovery though. There's Valde, and oh, that's it.
And you're right. They also did have a kid to work with, so they didn't have to move that fast. They could have waited for Valde to go for that flank, but the reality is that they're going to be forced on a full eco now for Heroic. It'll be interesting to see as well if how much has been invested on that previous round, especially with a glass cannon off for a Freeze. If at this point you're going to see Heroic on a double save, including this one. Napfly, I heard it dink, but that doesn't really damage him that much.
Yeah, it seems like it was through the wall. Yeah. That can be a little bit misleading if you think you hurt somebody really badly.
You alright? They're pushing out towards the broken wall, though. Napfly gets 2 entries. Valde trying to capitalize back on a refrag from the rectangles, but it doesn't pay off. Now they spot Snappy. Last man standing inside drop. That's going to go on a hunt. Gets insta-gooch. And he's going to say, alright, screw that. I'm not going to try to get the kill with him. Mac 10, he falls back. It's a 4-on-1. Snappy only in the red. Well, Optic Gaming will slowly spread out, but really nothing more he could add to this here, Launders, because it was a full eco going on for Heroic. They did try to go for a double peek up to top that broken wall. Mixwell again, another jumping kill. This time with a headshot.
Mixwell quite confident that he was going to be right under there, and yeah, threw all his attention into making sure that he got that kill as easily as possible.
Yep.
So you can see the players and how they're set up, opposite sides of each other with a projector onto the floor. It's a mind bender of the land.
Yeah, so they didn't have enough money right now for Heroic. It's now 3-2 in favor of Optic Gaming. Taking the lead now in this second map. They have won the first map 16-11 on Train, if you guys just tuned in to the Northern Arena coverage. This is day 3.
Yeah, Optic definitely looking super strong. And it looks like they're going to change up the pace here, go right into an execute, not play out the round. I really like this. important to have dynamic tempo. Keep Heroic guessing. Flash doesn't do much. Just wanted to spot the cold boost. Doesn't find an opponent. Doesn't see anyone actually. So still might be fairly confident that A is vulnerable. That
Miss Molly.
they mollied on tree. It didn't matter. No one's up there.
Yeah. Well, they forced him out. There was a boost at the beginning, but Rush comes out from the drop zone. That danger takes down Valde, but Glaive lines up too, right on the other side of the smoke, and Monty takes the 1 minute advantage. Now it's tied up on a 2 versus 2. Rush has taken control of that statue area where they're going to try to come in for that plant, and look at this post positioning for Optic Gaming. Freeze trying to move in with Snappy. Big flash coming through. He's going to push out towards Rectangle. Rush with another kill. That's 3 kills for him. And Snappy, unfortunately, will end that killing spree. But fortunately for Heroic, comes in for that clutch and will be able to defuse that bomb.
I still like the thought there to go B in a full execing set instead of going for their default. They go for the spotted plant to make it clear. Yeah.
So 3-3 overall. Tied up now, back in the game. Meanwhile, we do have a score update going on. We talked about it before on that second map here, Launders, for cash between Rogue and Complexity. Rogue was winning 4-0. Now it's tied up 7-7.
Okay. And Complexity took the first map, right?
Yep. So things are looking good for Complexity for the comeback.
So
Also trying to finish this in 2 maps.
Right. Now it's Heroic to win that last round, but still have a worse buy than Optic, just because they won it in a 1v1.
Yep.
Which leaves them incredibly vulnerable at the moment. And it seems like they're probably going to try to do a full execute again. Oh, Glaive actually falls off the boost. I'm not sure why. Oh, maybe long B control is in his best interest here, and I mean, he would be right. Like, this is exactly what he wants to do.
They're still throwing a lot of nades and mollies. Look at that. The arches here from the X-ray that we have, and it's going to be Glaive. Yep, at that broken wall, gets that first kill onto Stanislav, fully blinding. He spams Rush with the headshot through the smoke, comes towards the staircase, a triple kill for him. And Daps and Napla says, all right, we're not going to try to run through the smoke. Trying to fall back now. Both AKs trying to work together on a 5 versus 2.
And it looks like they are going to into a free site, it seems, though. They will get peeked. No, and Snappy comes out with the first kill. Very important one. Could have been a 2v3 situation, which is a much more different round. Daps has no way to cross safely. 50 seconds is the only thing that is in his favor at the moment. But that was a really bad executed B, man. That was awful.
Yeah.
They were so close to doing it properly last round, and maybe got cheesed a little bit with that second kill on the long B plat through the smoke.
Yeah.
But this round, Stanislav was the only one to jump out.
And also, usually when you have that smoke towards that broken wall, you have a second one following up, not a second one, but a molly following up towards the back of that staircase to give a chance to flesh out some enemies there. I mean, right there, they got that control, but then they never really saw that Glaive was going to come out. So a little bit of miscommunication of where Glaive was actually getting those kills from. But then again, they couldn't really see it, right? It was through a smoke.
Heroic had excellent counter flashes, no doubt. They did a really good job of making it difficult for Optic to even find out where they were. But maybe if they were just a little bit more diligent, they would have had more success. Snappy might get caught. Is there a long B smoke or long A? No. But just out that op. Legs one. That's not going to be good enough.
Back to the pistol, traded out though. The off is down. Makes well close, but couldn't connect onto Glaive, who had a nade in his hands. So this is going to be huge right now for Heroic to be able to retake this site or even hold it at this point. Stanislav pushing towards a rat hole. Quickly evened up by Valde. 3-on-3, 3-on-2. Marty being a turret on the top at the end of the A bomb site. Gets dinked back though by Mixwell. Nice shot. Now it's a 2v2. Daps almost burning to death by the snappable wall. Valde on that big flank at mid. Daps on another clutch situation, this time versus Freeze and Valde, but at least he does have an op to work with.
Ton of good damage dealt. Makes up a lot for what they had to deal with last round. Again, not a round we're expecting them to win. Daps, as you can see, has head armor, but it should just be a half buy. They only had pistols.
46 seconds left on the clock. We're still trying to play the guessing game for both teams.
Ooh, Daps might actually find a man right here. Oh!
See his goat? See his goat?
No one was watching. It's okay.
Except the whole crowd going, oh!
Oh my.
That could have changed things around, I mean.
Okay, so did a great job of finding them. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Basically, the first 2 angles he checks after he pushes for 5 seconds.
And both
he
don't
runs
connect, unfortunately.
And Ben doesn't come away with either kill, but Daps is like letting him know. You know, I'll find you guys. I might not kill you, but I'll find you.
I could still read you like a book.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to turn the page. Now it is going to be 5-3 in favor of Heroic. At this point, though, at least some good damage being done from Optic onto Heroic. You will see them with the buy, of course, but this forces a lot of a buy. A win coming in from Optic Gaming right now could totally reset the economy of Heroic. And even tied back up on a 5 versus 5. So things are looking good. On the other end, though, things are looking very positive for Heroic as well. Getting 5 rounds on CT side out of 8 rounds so far is quite a good feat.
Freeze was able to get a kill from this position. It's a tough shot to hit. You mostly get info unless someone wants to directly challenge you, in which case you are still the expected person to win that fight. Hard shot to line up as a terrorist.
So we did get that information. They're readjusting now inside the site for Heroic. Now they spot one towards the APC, both blinded, but it is still going to be Stanislaw getting the blinded kill. The lineup from Freeze, but it's an immediate trade. That's with the buddy system. Marty in the back of the site, met up with Valde at the same time. Marty trying to get the upper hand. The death from above, trying to connect onto Daps as well, but runs out of bullets. 3-on-2 situation. Daps then gets crossfired by Glaive. Now it's up to Stanislaw on a 2 versus 1. He could be another player that's could win punchable rounds. Marty peeking out aggressively from A towards the APC. 24 seconds left on the clock. Stanislaw has to start acting a little bit faster.
Yeah, there aren't many options here. Marty going to be spotting him Heaven. Yeah, they know where he was, so they got 2 people to watch choke points. There's not no one spread thin. There's not going to be a gap in time where they're not able to watch Heaven or around the truck. And Heroic are starting to find their footing. In this map, that was kind of a crazy trade with Daps. If he had hit that bullet a second earlier, Rush stays alive. Who knows what happens in that situation. But really nice movement here from Madi. Stop the plant, get that final kill. Always a critical member of the team in what rounds they win.
And it was a desperately needed round for Heroic to not lose that many players, to not force them into rebuys, to try to rebuild that economy on the CT side. They lead now by 3. Optic Gaming at this point, we're stopped in their tracks to start. But Valde is in a nice position on the right side, Nubbs there on the top of that broken wall. But finally, Daps and Nafly take 2 down. But Nafly is now on his own. Bomb is down on pretty much an impossible area for him to retake unless he could clutch a 3 versus 1. Freeze, Snappy, and Glaive. So they have a sniper rifle to support to even watch from long range. So this is going to be very difficult for Nafly to try to win, but it has calmed down a bit. He's now spotted, moving towards that staircase, and he spots the Opper. Freeze goes for the repeak, and Freeze finally connects.
Yeah, it does take him down. Naf had, and again, that's just a half buy. They're losing quite a few rounds here, so that means that they're going to buy every other round just like you normally would, except you can, in between, spend a little bit on half armor and a pistol, which, as we saw in the first map, means that you can win the rounds, which means that you have the opportunity to win it. But a full buy coming out, no op on the board.
Yep.
Not sure if I'm surprised to see it. If Mixwell doesn't like doing it, if they don't want it for the certain strategy that they're calling out of spawn. But they had the opportunity to buy it.
Rush living up to his name, making so much noise, and Snappy's going to hear it. He's going to call for some backup, and Rush, he still gets the entry no matter what. Freeze trades it out. Marty playing towards that cannon again, spotted. Nafly goes for the refrag. Daps giving it a 1-minute advantage, but then Stanislaw burns down, so it's a 2 versus 2. Valde and Glaive, again, the dynamic duo here for Heroic, will try to win this round for the team. They go spamming through the wall. Nafly then evens it up, and Glaive refrags it. And that's some great teamwork throughout this whole round from both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely. Both sides, yeah. The trades were on point both ways. And it ultimately came down to 1v1, the instant refrag. So there isn't really a better way to do for a round like this to end. And it ended up going fast. Optic said, I don't know actually why they did that, because they had so many nades. They didn't end up using them, right? They tried to just run out A, and they ended up getting the opening frag. So there is something to be said about that, but I'm always weary of the team that when they have so much utility, it's like, maybe don't even spend the money on the utility if you're not going to use it, or if you're planning on getting your entry immediately. That
timing, and I wonder if at the same time, because you see Glaive a lot at that broken wall, crouching, and I'm wondering if he could spot feet from the way that the smoke's being thrown. So he was able to get that spray onto Nafly right away. Good timing there right after. So an early 1-minute advantage in favor of Heroic. So now Madi's gonna try to look back here and play the defense on the connector side. I think they have heard a bit of footsteps there towards that drop to start. Yeah, and it's going to be Mixwell running out, and he once again gets a nice jumping as soon as he lands. Instead, gets the headshot
Wow.
from Valde, but again, another good transfer from Madi, dropping both Mixwell and Rush. Daps the last man standing, 4 versus 1. They have dropped the bomb carrier in Stanislaw at mid, and easily covered now by Heroic. And Snappy doesn't let Daps get any more kills, or any at all in this round.
That's Madi right there, first person. Next was Freeze. And look at this. Unreal. That's so sick. That's so sick. And Madi consistently does that. That's not even just like, this is every day in the park for him. Every day walk in the park. 9-3 now. Optic have come close to winning some of these rounds. It seems like their strategies are starting to become more simplified, right? They went from defaulting and slowing it down to grouping up, and even just going through default and speeding it up. But it doesn't seem like they're going back to their style of trying to default wait and then execute. I like their full B take the first time. The second time was a complete disaster. And ever since then, it seems like they're starting to get a little bit tunnel vision.
So we have a tactical pause right now for Optic Gaming, again, slowing down the momentum that was built up here for Heroic. But meanwhile, we do have a score update. 7-7 was the last one. The latest one now, it is 12-8 in favor of Complexity on Cash against Rogue.
They're live.
So every time I sit down, we have to stand back up. We're going back live here in this game. 9-3 in favor of Heroic. Let's see what comes out of this tactical pause for Optic Gaming. There's a nade that's going to damage one player from Optic Gaming for a bit. But they will just keep things very calm for now. Glaive looking for some information. You did have an Incinerator grenade being lobbed early in this round, and the execute is now going to be towards that B bomb site, so they're going to call it. They're pushing down towards the danger as well. Valde's fully blinded, but Rush again once gets an opening kill and a second one. But you still have Valde on the top of the tree, and it's going to be Daps that's going to get the kill. 3-on-2 situation. The bomb is down, but still have lots of time to work with is Optic Gaming. You have an M4, and Daps evens up the tally on the refrag at danger, but it's still a 1-minute advantage for Optic Gaming. Freeze moving up, quick scope onto Stanislaw, knows exactly where Daps is at. He's low on HP, he goes for the defuse. Daps gonna try to spray across, but his ass is sticking out. Daps gets the kill, triple kill for him, 2 for Rush with the entries.
That's your ass fault.
Daps your ass. Naf kill. And then what other?
Naf kill, yeah. What was it? How'd you say it? You said it in a southern accent. Naf kill.
Naf kill.
Yeah. This smoke, yeah, it doesn't really. Freeze is like, I can't see anything. There's no way he sees me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his entire body's sticking out. He's just got a head in a cloud. So.
Well, he did say in a pregame interview that he's been training a lot, like working out. So those quads were showing through that smoke.
That's
9 to 4.
Work out.
No, you should. You don't want to be like me. But Valde, though, gets the first kill in this round. Traded out by Napfly. 4-on-4 situation as Optic Gaming have opted to go towards this B bomb site. Dabs through the smoke, headshot to Glaive. And now we're setting up here for the bomb plant. Nades coming through, but that doesn't really damage anybody from Optic Gaming, who do have a few players that are low on HP. But Rush still unstoppable. Freeze refrags. Dabs then on the top as he's boosted. Knows exactly that Snap is at danger.
Nice.
And gets the element of surprise.
That was nice. That was a nice one, Daps.
Yeah.
Hide behind the tree. You just saw me. Now you don't. Maybe I fell off. Boom. Peek headshot. You can't see me.
Last round to go here for this first half, so this pause was actually very good for Optic Gaming. At this point, winning 2 rounds in a row, breaking in the economy of Heroic at the same time. Although, throughout this tournament here at Northern Arena, the Pistols have been so good here for all the teams that we've tested so far.
It was 9-5 in the last half.
Yep.
Heroic were on a save,
Yep.
and then won the round. But this is very different. It's usually comes out with an early pick. That's how you really lock it up. Freeze in front of the smoke. Was getting killed. No, he's on a bit of damage. Yes, he gets it. I lied. And
2
Glaive.
more to go. Glaive at the APC, but Rush then stops him. 3-on-1 now. Valde, the last man standing at the connector. Rush will get the bomb plan. We are about to see a 9-6 scoreline on the first half, unless Valde goes insane. But no. So winning the last 3 rounds in a row here for Optic Gaming after that pause. 9-6. Can this transfer over now to the second half? Because 9 rounds on CT side to start things off for Heroic is pretty good.
Yeah, it is good, really good half. They, at the very beginning, it was unclear whether or not Optic were gonna just keep putting up a fight, and then getting up to 9-3, you're like, oh wow, Heroic are starting to solidify their experience here on the site or on this side.
Yeah.
And Optic, after the pause, however, pulled out 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
So it could have been way worse. And it does feel nice moving into the second half, knowing that you got your stuff together.
Yeah, and this is still very difficult, I gotta say, for Optic Gaming, because at this point they've lost 3 pistols in a row. They might be on a route to maybe lose another one here if the pattern continues. But if that's the case, that's going to be a very huge lead now for Heroic, unless they get something done with the pistols. But now they have the T sign to start.
Yeah, definitely. And they lost both pistols last map and still won the map. You can't expect that to happen again, right? You can't. Normally, if you win both pistols, that could typically result in 6 rounds in a row. That means that you're set to win. You've got one of the biggest advantages you can possibly have. So
Well, it is.
You need to put one together, that's for sure.
It is going to be Heroic, on the T side this time. They're going for the Glock crane all the way up towards mid. They drop dabs towards long A, so it might be 4 pistol rounds to start for Heroic. The retake play for Optic right now, rotating from B. Bomb is now planted. While they're looking out, lots of gunshots towards the APC. Enemy spotted, 2 of them at the CT spawn, but Rush gets 2 kills with the USP. Mixwell battling towards the broken wall at A side, and it's going to be 1-for-1. 2-on-2 situation. They do have a kit on the back of Rush. He's going to go for that defuse. Stanislaw looking for the opponents. Actually, it's a fake defuse, but Stanislaw, meanwhile, his teammate for Rush has picked off. He's going to have to ace to try to win this, but they're doing a great job here for Heroic, just playing the time to their side. Just trying to get lucky with 1 taps, but it does not work.
Really nice, clean shoulder peaks.
Hopefully you guys are tweeting out Northern Arena here.
Get off your phones.
Yeah, 4 pistols.
Yeah, 4 pistols. Daps dies really early on, and the problem is that he doesn't have to get a kill, but he needs to stay alive. He's the only person at A, so he doesn't do either, and that makes A a lot harder. The retake almost came at me. I got pretty much as close as they could have hoped for, but no surprise that Heroic won that after their first frag.
Optic Gaming on a save this time. Usually you do see a pistol armor buy, but they only have pistols, P250s across the board. Only 1 kill out of fruition so far at the long A. 4-on-2 situation. Marty with a jumping MAC-10 onto Stanislaw towards that window room. Last man, Daps.
What is that face that he made in his name?
It's a tent. It's an elephant.
Yeah, it looks like a tent. It looks like an elephant, yeah. I see that.
What do you guys think? Tweet it out.
Or is it Vietnamese?
Actually, the Vietnamese language.
Tent, elephant, or Vietnamese?
It doesn't look nothing like me.
I'm putting up the straw poll.
But usually, just to let you know here, Launders, for your ignorance, is that the Vietnamese alphabet actually uses the French alphabet.
I love pho, okay?
Yeah, pho is good. Full show.
Yeah.
But yes, as we continue on here, we do have Hearthstone happening at the same time here at the Fan Expo for the Northern Arena, and also Clash Royale, brought to you by Bell. As for this round, it is going to be, of course, a double eco now for Optic Gaming. They were only able to capitalize on 1 kill on that last round here, Launders, as a big flash coming through to start things off, and they get the headshot onto Madi at upper B. Meanwhile, though, Stanislaw has fallen towards long B as well. So they're still going to have to keep guessing now for Optic, because they got picked off at A, they got picked off at B. Now the map reopens right now for Heroic. But now they have better positioning and might have a better idea of where the action's going to be for Optic.
This is truly a tough comeback. The 9-round CT is one thing. Heroic's T side is another. And Optic on a save at 6. I wonder where Rush found these resources from.
Yeah, that was from the kill they got earlier onto Monty at upper B.
Oh yeah, so he was packing a little bit there.
Yeah. So salvages the MAC-10 and the Molly behind from Monty. So he bought a flash on his own.
The gamble stack is at the wrong side. You kind of want to stay strong in this situation. You might hear stuff on the other side of the map, but Maybe you hope that they fake.
Yeah, or you want to try to keep that Mag 10 and that Molly at the same time. No, you're going to see them rotate back out towards that connector side. I mean, they did have the boost from that fly at that drop zone area, so I don't know why the gamble was going back towards that B side from connector. But meanwhile, though, we have 10 seconds left on the clock.
The plant. Oh, I thought it was fake. Okay. And here, everyone's just set up to get exits. This is a much better way to get the kill than to run out and try to retake the site. Retake kills are much harder. Exit kills are much easier. So right now, they're just cutting off choke points so that everyone has to take a fight at the very minimum.
So let's see if Heroic could spot a few as they're slowly making out of the A bomb site. That bomb for sure is going to go off. So they spotted towards Rat Hole, and that's Mixwell, but it's a crossfire setup, so it's a 2-for-1 trade. So it's back to Mixwell.
Someone got ripped off.
Mixwell trying to move up here, and I don't think he's going to... yes, actually, he got a kill, but was he able to pick up an AK? I was just looking at the screen there from Optic's side. I did see somebody fall.
Yeah,
as Mixwell was pushing through.
Oh, did he actually? Yeah, he did. He was able to grab that. That's a big find.
Yeah.
But the round differential is great. 6 rounds. That's it potentially. It depends on how much money Heroic have, and all that little bit of economic damage we'll see maybe snowball into a situation where 3 rounds in they won't be able to buy maybe when they once could have if they had ended up saving those people. So it's tough to look that far into the future. Oh, looks like the long B flash is out to get control of it. The rifle's creeping up the left side, and Madi reloading. It's going to be an audible noise for Optic. It's going to give him a little bit of peace of mind here, but 4 players from Heroic are posturing to take A, and with that information have actually forfeited long B, and maybe that's going to stall the rotates a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it was Mixwell that was pushing up towards long A, using the op, not putting daps anymore. And he spotted a few guys moving through, so he fell back, and that's why you see them on the CT side taking more default strategies now in terms of the defense.
Daps is going to get full bunt, yes. I don't know. I don't know if there's ever been a situation where someone has run at a long A 5v5 without flashing that, and I think it's like the 3rd time somebody not played turned around in that situation, but it is a tough spot to play.
There's a nice shot there from Freeze as well onto Mixwell at the APC. I even think Mixwell was blinded from a flash coming through from long at the CT spawn. And that's going to be the cue now for Optic Gaming to just try to save their weapons. They're going to be at 13-6, a 7-round deficit for this mix of Canadian, American, and a Spanish. Spaniard? Spaniard.
Spaniard. Yeah.
Espanol. But yes, 13-6. These 3 guys will should be able to see their weapons, but Heroic are still trying to flush them out. It is going to be, again, who, surprisingly, maybe not, Valde and Glaive working together here to try to pick some off.
It's been a disappointing affair so far. Some of these rounds are moving kind of slowly, and then it's just it turns it's a lot of saves, and then Optic on their gun rounds lose 1 or 2 members, get crushed.
Yeah, and I don't think they got any kills after all. When we got that transition, looking back onto Madi's screen, I didn't see anything on the kill feed. So 3 guys able to save their weapons now for Optic Gaming.
Good on Heroic for having that patient, disciplined play. I think I'd like to see them change up the tempo as well, but at the same time, you can't really tell the person who's putting all these rounds together what they should really do differently.
And again, Heroic just really playing a slower game, utilizing Freeze to try to get these opening kills.
They are super defaulty.
And it pays off, right? Don't fix what ain't broken.
The whole point of a default is to make sure you cover all your options. So it doesn't necessarily win you the round right away, but it'll guarantee you a certain amount of map control. It'll guarantee you a certain amount of safe fights.
So we will at least call out a few nades being thrown towards a drop zone. Rush was trying to look for some cover just behind that pillar to be covered from that flash, but it didn't pay off. It's fully blinded, gets picked off. Control of drop zone. Big flash right now. Nafly, who was boosted up, unfortunately there, couldn't get the kill before he fell. And Mixwell is in a tough spot at that statue side. Able to opt down 1, but quickly refragged there by Madi. Daps, meanwhile, inside the drop zone. Does get the kill. On to this drop zone control. It's now a 3 versus 2. And they do have kits to work with, so they have some time to take it slow. But they're up against Freeze, Snappy, and Madi. 2 key players so far for Heroic still alive, that being Freeze and Madi throughout these series. An off shot miss, but Stanislav capitalizes on that. He's going to make a lot of noise towards that broken wall. Daps through the smoke, then onto Snappy. It's a 2 versus 1. They have to try to find Madi right now. Where can he be? There's smoke coming through, but he gets the kill before it actually blooms. At least Stanislav can move in to get the kill, but it's ring around. There's Rosie trying to spam across the wall, and Madi wins this right now for Heroic. Oh, what a play.
Boy. Wow, in that 1v1. The movement around that completely threw Stanislav through a loop. That was a tough spot to be in. That should have maybe waited for the smoke to pop. We see that happen all the time where people will drop the smoke, get on the bomb before it actually blooms, and then immediately get spotted like we see here. Now, the spam might have come out and killed him anyway. You know, that's something to be taken into consideration. But if he wasn't even on the bomb waiting, potentially Madi gets put in a more difficult situation. Now, and then it cuts both ways because they don't know where he is, right? So
it was a nice job as well for Madi to go for a little bit of a wider peek at the same time, because not only did he kill the diffuser, but he knew where Stanislav was right after and what angle it was coming from. That gave him a chance to try to play the mind game a little bit more around that chicken coop. Damn chicken coop. Stanislav unfortunately misses the off shot that should have connected. You can't miss those there when they're peeking out in the open. Fully blinded is Mixwell trying to get some mag 7 kills. It is 14-6 in favor of Heroic. Mixwell trying to come out, but waited by Frizz with the AWP. Greeted there with a bullet in the chest.
And they didn't expect Daps to just be sitting there, not making any noise, while Mixwell had taken all those fights.
And this might be actually be pretty good, because he drops the bomb carrier. He's going to get some support from Rush, but they have a double off setup now for the CT side.
Oh, it's Dominoes. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, Daps.
There you go. Hello, Daps. Turns around.
Okay.
Gets another kill here. That's 4. 1 more to go for this ace. And it's up against Valde. Valde stops it, but at least Nafwai is there. Optic Gaming stays alive. It's 14-7.
Guess we know who needs the op. Yeah, I mean, Mix, I don't even know if he's been op. I mean, they probably haven't had that many opportunities to.
No.
Wow, that shot is nuts. And then just punishes the shoulder peek. Turns it into a sequence. Daps. Flashy opper? I don't think that.
I think they did opt a little bit back in the days of like XTS, Exodus, and Mobility. They're now taking the role of the in-game leader, going to try to help out a little bit more. Nafly gets the opener with the AWP onto Madi. Good pop flash from a teammate for him to peek. Gets another one, Elisa for a pop flash onto Frizz, or Freeze rather, but can come out for the peek. Counter coming through for Heroic to try to retake control of this upper B. The Naf is going to slow them in their tracks. So 2-minute advantage to start for Optic, which is actually really good towards this upper B. Look at that, they boosted towards that drop. Freeze though gets a nice shot. And at the same time though, there's might be one that's able to lurk around. Nope.
If Optic honestly find their way back into this game, I will be lost for words. This is they still got lots of rounds to go, but suddenly seem like they're reinvigorated after Dabs gets a 4K.
Oh yeah, and it would be heartbreaking as well for Heroic, because they did lose 16-14 on a comeback from Selfless, and I think it was on this map as well. I think. Could be wrong.
No, Heroic were the ones to come back and win. 16-14. Yeah, they were down like 14-11, I think, and then won.
Thanks.
But close enough.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But at this point now, it is going to be around that round won by Optic Gaming, 14-8. Economy's reset now for Heroic. I guess I still need to wake up. But they're just gonna go for this pain train through the smoke. On the other side of mid is Daps waiting for them. Connects with 2 kills, runs out of bullets with the M4, and Madi finally stops it and mistracks. Mixwell spotting 2 more crossing over, so you do have that op that Mixwell is still going to be using for Optic Gaming. They actually do have a double op setup on top of that. Yeah. It's 14-9 now.
Yeah, I like it. Just get 5 ops, man. No shame, dude. You want to pretend like your strategy to this game? No. Just everyone buy an op and hit 1 shot. That's it.
Well, the last time we saw Stanislav with an op, though, he missed a pretty, what should be easy on that wide peak from Madi at long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Madi killing him the round right at the end of the round and then right at the beginning of the next one.
Somebody again utilizing him to try to get control first. The flash for them to peek, but Nafly couldn't get that jump across for that peak, for that early peek.
It's a really tricky jump, Captain. Yeah, but it is kind of a weird texture that's like it is a broken wall.
Yeah.
As the name implies.
At least it's not called broken game.
Yeah.
Although some people might argue with that last statement these days, but now still a 5-on-5 situation. Back to a gun round for Heroic, but a lot invested here into this gun round because Freeze is going to go for an op, but with no armor. So probably buying pretty low, pretty much close to all the way down to 0. And you do have Snappy with $100 right now, you can see on this overlay. So they did invest a lot into this round for Heroic. They have to capitalize big on onto this one. Ooh. And it starts with a boost from the mid side to get the kill onto Mixwell on top of Heaven. Great job there by Heroic. Daps though.
Oh, he fell off the wall, but it is a tough. Like, you don't actually want to be up there.
Not when you're by yourself.
Not when you're not when they split on you. It's not safe.
Here's towards the center of a wall, and
right.
Blave gets a jumping 180 headshot onto Daps. Game's number. Rushed and op down by Freeze. It is now a 5-on-2 situation. A valiant attempt so far from Optic Gaming for the comeback, but they're gonna have to try to save and play for the tie and try to bring it into overtime.
Yeah. Jumping AK peak headshot. Why not? Entry, sure, fine. We take those.
We accept it.
Yes. Mixwell. It's not on point. Incredibly off point at the moment.
Well, even then, Stanislav at 10 and 12, but he does have the responsibility to try to call for the team with Daps as well, right?
Yeah, I know, but that's not even it though. Like if you have the op, you can't have 11 kills. An op, you're supposed to you're allowed to bait, right? You're allowed to you're put in position to get the most frags, right? You're always up front. You take the first contact. You're holding angles. You play safe. You can also stay alive the most, and so all of those factors mean that you should be getting far more kills than. You should almost always be top fragging. I mean, on CT side, it's a little bit different because maybe they don't go to your site. Maybe you can't retake with an op that well. But in general, no, it's just.
I just heard Warden scream, so I got the update. Complexity wins this in 2 maps against Rogue. Second map, 16-14 on cash.
Wow.
So they come back from a 4-0 deficit.
So that's it for Heroic. They're out.
For Rogue.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
They're out. So one of our 2 European teams coming. Second one currently being broadcasted right now by myself and Launders. But Rogue, unfortunately, gets knocked out, so congratulations to Complexity moving on to the quarterfinals. Back into this round here, though. Map point for Heroic, looking to bring this to a 3rd if possible. Optic looking to fight back to bring this to a 2-0 win in this series to move to the semis.
Daps going to see some enemies, finds the head of Snappy, but Freeze instant trade. He has been doing a really good job with the op so far, and there is one more opponent in Mixwell. And where is he?
Yeah, and it's not only that Mixwell is not getting those kills, but he's denied early a lot by Freeze as well.
Yeah.
And when they were executing towards the A side, he's not really given that chance to try to get those picks because Heroic are just executing so flawlessly.
I mean, they killed him with the boost over the smoke, for example, so they're finding ways to kill him, yeah, definitely. But it's hard to say whether or not maybe he's not being careful enough, maybe he is missing, we're not seeing it. There could be many variables, including luck. Sometimes things just don't go your way.
Well, here comes the execution. 20 seconds left on the clock. They have to act towards the A side. Things are starting off well. Mixwell and Rush trying to win this round and keep Optic alive. It's all up to Freeze. He gets immediately dispatched by Rush for a 3K for himself. It is now 15-10. 5 more rounds to try to bring this into OT.
That was great. He even had that second kill where he had 13 HP because his opponent was full blind and his teammate helped him out with that flash. So really good stuff right there. And the flash comes over, boom. They both actually take a little bit of it, but Rush too solid. Way too solid.
Back to a pistol round for Heroic as they have been reset. Tech 9 aggressive push now towards upper B non-stop. Nafly does a good job with an incendiary grenade to keep them back, and Stanislav dropping 2 inside the upper B. Rush is going to kill 1 inside the drop zone. And now it's all up to Snappy. Stanislav playing it here from Rectangle. And Nafly gets the op kill on to Snappy. So this double op setup, giving it to Nafly. So you mentioned it before here, Launders. He could be that second string opper. I guess you were hesitating a bit when you were explaining that because maybe he doesn't really op that often for the team.
Well, no, I just didn't want to refer to him as like a second-rate opper, but I guess the better way to put it would be like hybrid, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just don't want to use the wrong word. That'd be like, oh, he's not good, but you know, he can do it.
Well, you got the right one with hybrid.
Hybrid, yes.
15-11, back to a gun round, and a good job here. At least they've nullified the fact that Freeze could actually buy an AWP, so it's a full AK round for Heroic. Another aggressive push here, but Nafly is off it from the statue. That is one down. That is two. He's looking for three, misses it, and traded out by Valde. But Stanislav's just on that smoke. It's a 3 versus 3 now. They're pushing out towards Rectangle. Rush gets one kill. Freeze then onto Mixwell at the connector, and then Rush again with the 2K this time. Valde on a 2 versus 1. That bomb is down. 1:16 left on the clock. It's out in the open by Rectangle, and Valde will have to try to clutch this to bring this to a third map. If not, Optic Gaming are looking good again to survive another round.
Valde is a dangerous character, but and Dab.
What a shot.
Oh wow, Dabs! I don't know what just happened. Dabs definitely just saw him there.
I wonder if it's just from the angle. He doesn't see him, but Valde sees him. So now back to a 1 versus 1.
I mean, I doubt that, but
Valde
is a seriously fierce competitor.
Rush on the bottom right of your screen. Valde on the top left. 33 seconds left on the clock. Now Rush knows that it's towards B. You saw the expression of his face. Ah, he went A?
Ah. That's what Rush sounds like. In case you haven't heard him speak. Oh, I'm Rush. Oh, it's A?
Bomb is now planted here. Positioning for Valde to cover that bomb. Rush has no idea where his opponent's at.
Yeah, this is a nightmare. He's got an incendiary. Valde's probably going to try and time this properly. Oh, that's a good.
Oh, this is huge. He's going to peek out, but he still wins that fight.
Yeah.
He read him like a book. I mean, that was perfect. Flush him out with that Cinder Grenade, get the wide angle, forcing the opponent out, going for the fake defuse. But unfortunately, Valde was just quicker on the reaction, and we will now see a third map. Interestingly enough, let's talk about the wrap-up of the second map first, though, Launders.
Yeah, sure. So it was kind of a slow-paced match overall.
Yeah.
There's a lot of